What's up, Lorehounds? It's Koopa back in the Blizzard Entertainment booth. We're actually taking a look at Hearthstone. So PAX East, you guys have a big announcement for us. Again, thanks again for coming to PAX East. You guys do your own show, so we understand, but thanks again for coming. So what was the big announcement? We're getting some PvE one single player content coming to the game.
Absolutely. So what we're getting is Naxxramas. And what that is a sort of a new way to play Hearthstone. And it's single player content where you're going to be playing against a series of bosses in each of a set of wings. So if you remember Naxxramas from the old days, it has the different quarters. So you go to battle in one of these quarters and you battle a boss. And if you're able to defeat that boss, you get a specific card that is unique to that boss. And you earn it for your collection. You can use it in any mode you want. You can use it in ranked play or single player or however you want. And once you've defeated that boss, you can go on to the next boss until you've cleared that entire wing. Once you've cleared the wing, you get of course, the legendary treasure at the end of it, which is the legendary card, which goes into your collection. And so
that's very cool. I mean, I did raid back in the day, and so getting to see some familiar faces, I'm sure, are coming through. Are we going to get each boss for every wing kind of thing? Is that what you guys are really trying to do there?
You will see 15 bosses.
Wow. And so it's going to be a long grind almost to get through, huh?
Well, it'll be interesting too because we're rolling it out in slightly different ways than what we've done with our usual patches and stuff. There's essentially going to be kind of a month-long event, which is the unveiling of Naxxramas. So on week 1, you'll see the Arachnid Quarter show up, and then each additional week
will
bring
like phasing like
exactly.
back in TFT.
So we actually expect you to play the game pretty differently in multiple different ways, which is kind of cool. So for instance, when you're playing against Hagen the Unclean, he does 2 damage to your leftmost minion. And normally when you're playing the game, you kind of just throw a minion out anywhere. And against him, you're going to think differently because you're like, okay, I need to protect this minion, so I'll have to throw this minion on the left because I know his hero power is going to start hitting that. Or actually in Nax, one of the themes is Death Rattle, and maybe you have one of your minions that you want to get killed. So you'll throw that guy on the left, knowing that Hagen will have to use his power to kill that minion to get whatever the benefit is for you to keep rolling for him and destroying him.
And I think you largely answered. I mean, essentially, a lot of the decisions we're making for Hearthstone are based off the feedback we're getting from the community, what we think is best for Hearthstone. So those tend to be the major factors that we're looking at. It is tied to the Warcraft universe. So, you mentioned you play a little Naxxramas, which is awesome back in the day, and we know that this is a dungeon and a raid that a lot of people are very passionate about. So that was kind of the biggest influence for us.
Which also means don't mess it up. You're going to get some feedback on that one.
I think that's probably fair to say.
Yep.
So actually, let's check out the iPad version, which is supposedly actually coming in a week. You guys actually put a date on something. It's crazy. All right, so it's a completely different interface, and it actually gets me to play the game a lot more. I assume other people will as well. So, is this where we start?
Yes, I mean, this is what I think a lot of the PC players coming will expect to see out of the iPad as well. So we're trying to make it so that if you're coming from playing on the PC, you can come right in and keep playing right away. So essentially, what you have here is the main UI. You can jump right in. Let's say we choose a practice game. Click on that. So first thing, here we are on the mulligan. We'll see what we want to start off with. Well, not too bad of a starting hand. I don't know if we need 2 frost shocks necessarily, so I'm going to dump one of those. I'm going second, so we get the benefit of the coin for an extra mana when I need it. And the AI will take their turn, skipping. It's now up to me. Okay, so I'm just going to drag a boar here out of my hand. Because that's charged, I can go ahead and punch the leader in the face right away. And that's good for me on turn 1.
Wow, I mean, everything's the same now.
Yeah, and so I think
touch interface.
you can kind of basically see all the cards in your hands by matching over them. It's a good way to kind of get preview what's coming up. You can also have the same clickables that you saw in the PC version there, so we can click on the Griffin. They'll talk to us. Do some damage to the end over here. Another thing that's a little different is the chat interface, because there is no keyboard. We have some way we have a virtual keyboard where you can interact with your Battle.net friends. I can click on the chat interface here, and it'll actually pop up the keyboard right here, so you can just have a conversation with them while you're playing.
How hard was it to get the full Battle.net style functionality onto this platform, considering you've never done it before?
So that was actually one of the most significant challenges of coming over here to work on the iPad. Is basically not only do we have bring the game over, make sure it's performant working on iPad 2 and up, but getting the Battle.net friends, your Real ID friends, having chat working, presence information piping so you know what your friends are doing. That was kind of a significant effort where we partnered with
a whole different development.
Battle.net team, exactly. Yeah. And this is essentially the foundation. We'd like to potentially do other Blizzard games in the future on mobile devices. So this is kind of the first step in taking us in that direction. I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here again.
Are you expecting maybe one platform to take over, like as a dominant platform or anything, or just whatever the community decides?
We want to support them all. Like, so if you prefer to play on a PC, awesome. That'll continue to be a great experience. If you prefer to play on an iPad, that's awesome too. And we're going to, with each patch that we have coming out, the intention is to release content at the same time for both. So no particular platform feels like it's behind or not getting the latest stuff. It'll actually essentially be available for both.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. I can't wait to get into Nox again. This is going to be the third incarnation I'm going to be rating, but we'll take care of it. I'll get through it eventually. We can't wait to see more coming out of Hearthstone. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.